there, my little demons and divas. Bienvenidos. Welcome back to my channel. How's everybody doing? ¿Qué es la que hay? Here's your girl, Isa, aka the Demon Diva. Go follow me on Twitter and Instagram at NYC Demon Diva. Actually, just Snapchat. Who's using Facebook anymore? Really? Tell me, who's using Facebook anymore? Okay, so you see this big fat iPad? I just got this brand new iPad and I'm still taking notes the old school way. That's because I need a new Apple Pencil. But listen, that is not related. Before I get started talking about NXT Takeover XXX 30 Triple X, guys, make sure you hit subscribe, share, like, hit the notification bell so every time I upload a new video, you know, because I've been working, guys. I've been uploading videos for you guys on the daily. And today I have a very special episode of Real Talk because of course I watched NXT Takeover. First of all, before I even go through the card tonight, can we talk about how it is the 30th takeover? NXT went from not a lot of people knowing about it to some of us finding out about it. And then I remember when NXT was like this cool thing that only some of us knew about. You know, and then it started growing and growing, and then other people will find out about it and be like, oh, you don't watch? You remember when you used to like take this bragging rights, like, oh, you haven't been watching? Or they will call somebody up to the main roster and like people will be like, wait, what? And you'll be like, you don't watch NXT? You know? And I can't help but to think of like so many things about NXT that NXT not only introduced me to, but I fell in love with women's wrestling thanks to NXT. I fell in love with women's wrestling thanks to Sasha versus Bayley in the very first takeover in Brooklyn that took place in Brooklyn. I wasn't paying attention to any like wrestling because like, listen, if you're my age, you know that women's wrestling was not taken seriously, and I didn't want to talk about it. I'm a woman. Why would I want to talk about how they were degrading them? And I don't have a problem with that. I feel like everybody should make their coin, but it's like you are a wrestler. Anybody can go and make coins by being an underwear model or doing mud fights or being on Playboy if you want to like do that kind of content. These girls were there because they had a passion and a talent, and they were just being degraded. And then like I was like, I don't want to pay attention. And I know that there was a little bit of a time there with Paige and AJ Lee, but I still wasn't paying attention then. It took me going to that takeover for the main factor that I wanted to see Finn Balor's entrance. I wasn't familiar with some of the girls. I knew a little bit about the Four Horsewomen, you know, but not like, oh my God, I'm going to sit down and watch every match that they do every episode. And I just remember having tears in my eyes when I watched that match. And it's funny because there's been only 2 matches that have brought 2 women matches. There's a lot of women matches that I love, don't get me wrong. But there's 2 women's matches that have brought that kind of emotion when I watched it, that I was just like at awe. Like, what did I just watch? And those 2 matches were Sasha versus Bayley at NXT TakeOver and Becky versus Charlotte at Evolution. So I find it super amazing that it's the 4 horsewomen of NXT. I owe my love to women's wrestling to NXT. I love falling in love with NXT to Finn Balor, the demon Finn Balor. Those entrances, the makeup, the crawling, there was like everything about that character I loved. Kevin Owens. That Kevin Owens Finn Balor feud, oh my God, I was so invested. I have attended so many takeovers. Shinsuke Nakamura was like love at first sight for me. You know, seeing him in Dallas, that entrance, I knew that I was hooked. I was like, I'm going to ride or die with this guy forever. And that's something that you only experience at a takeover. You experience Bobby Roode's first entrance after seeing all these glorious bombs throughout social media. This guy makes his first entrance and you have 15,000 people singing the song when it's supposed to be the first time that we actually hear or see this entrance. TakeOver has given us so many moments, so much hope in the product that even when the main roster might not be making us happy, we still had Takeover, you know? And I do think that Takeover has changed. I do think since it went to network television, it doesn't feel like the small niche, cool kids watch Takeover, like watch NXT anymore. But I'm glad that they were able to push this brand to that level. I love when Survivor Series was Raw versus SmackDown versus NXT. Like, they're not the kids. This is not the minor leagues trying to get called up anymore. This is their own league. And I have so much respect for watching NXT grow. And last but not least, like, look at SummerSlam tomorrow. Like, you have Braun Strowman versus The Fiend for the Universal title. NXT call-ups. You have Sasha versus Asuka, Bayley versus Asuka, NXT legends. You have Drew McIntyre against Randy Orton. Literally NXT champion against old school WWE guy. You have who else is in the card tomorrow? Apollo Crews, NXT. You have Roman Reigns, who's not here, NXT. Seth Rollins, the very first NXT champion. Like, when you look around the roster now, you don't see these old guys anymore. You see all this new talent that we all love, and it all came from NXT. So we owe so much to NXT. So Triple H, thank you so much. Thank you so much. NXT has brought so much joy to my lifespan as a wrestling fan in the last 5 years that there's no way to describe it. There's just no way. And I know that some of the people watching this video understand what I'm saying. You get it, right? You get it. So tonight, I was very excited to tune in. Even though I don't watch NXT on a weekly basis, takeovers just still feel special. They still feel like something you have to tune in for. And I did. On the pre-show, Breezango became the #1 contenders for the tag team titles. And I am super excited for them because I find Breezango so talented. I love Tyler Breeze. And of course, I love Fandango. And I have a hard time, not me personally, but I think they don't come off as a thing that you can take seriously. And I feel like tonight could be the rebuild to that by making them the #1 contenders. I hope they win the tag titles. We'll see. But I was very happy with that result. It was a little unexpected. I thought that the Spanish drug dealers, Legado del Fantasma, I thought they were going to win. So I was very happy for Breezango. And that was on the pre-show. Start the night and the official Takeover 30, we had Finn versus Finn. I gotta say, I love seeing Finn Balor work a different kind of style. It felt like that was like a different style from his normal. But I could not help but to miss the demon Finn Balor. And maybe it's because I was feeling a little nostalgic. Would have been 30th and you go back to thinking, what really made me start watching NXT? And it was Finn Balor. It was the demon character. So, you know, you see him like this now and he's still talented and he's still beautiful, but he's just not the demon. So I couldn't help but to think of the demon the entire match and go, oh, bring him back. Can we do more with Finn Balor? Because I thought when we brought him back down, it was to like elevate, because like the Finn Balor era of NXT was epic, remember? And like, so you think that when he was gonna come down, it was to do more with him. And maybe he's just the older guy that wants to come down to NXT to put people over, but it just doesn't feel right. And I do think that Finn Balor could be a draw. I think that you need to go back to look at what people were major key, what storylines you have going on, who were your major key factors to those weeks that NXT won the ratings, and maybe work on pushing those people a little bit more, like Rhea Ripley, like Adam Cole, Finn Balor. Like, there's certain people that you should probably be pushing a little bit more and see if that plays with your numbers, because some of them do have an it factor, and Finn Balor has it. And Finn, of course, won via pinfall, and I really like the finish of this match. So that's my thoughts on that. I just hope that they do more with Finn Balor now. Maybe he can go, didn't he have a little something with Damian Priest? He beat Damian Priest, and Damian Priest, spoiler alert, we're going to talk about it now. Damian Priest is our new North American champion, so maybe we can do a program with them. I even though we already did it, but I wouldn't mind. So the North American Championship ladder match, oh my God, I cannot believe that Damian Priest won. Damian Priest is your new North American champion. I wanted it. I really like Damian Priest. I just didn't think they will go through with it. I'm sorry, but it felt like it didn't live up to expectations. Or maybe those kind of matches just need a crowd. But I have seen so many epic ladder matches in NXT history that it's just a lot to live up to. And I hate when fans like try to go back and compare it. And I'm doing it myself, but again, because it was the 30th, it feels so nostalgic, and you couldn't help but to try to compare. It didn't feel like it lived up to expectations, but it did have the right result. I love who won the match. I also didn't think that there was a need for Velveteen Dream to be there. So why did they even add him to the match? Maybe for him to take a couple of spots so people would like be happy. I don't know. You guys know that Velveteen Dream is involving some shit that I do not want to discuss, but I just didn't think that he needed to be put in that position. He lost his first shot at trying to get into the ladder match, get him off TV for a couple of weeks. Then after that, don't want to give him any credits, but as always, he killed the entrance and the gear. That's the one thing that Velveteen Dream always does right. It was a decent match. I don't think it was the best match we've seen in NXT Takeover history, just like I didn't think it was the best takeover that I've ever seen. But I did think it had the right winner. So awesome. Punisher Martinez. I mean, Damian Priest, good job. Good for you, bud. Like, I'm happy for him. Moving on, we had, oh my God, Adam Cole versus Pat McAfee. And I remember joking around saying, on SNE Network, guys, go check me out. I do NXT reviews on SNE Network, also Getting Raw with Amanda and Drew. The links to the latest episodes are on the descriptions below. But I said, just joking, imagine if Pat McAfee comes out and fucking kills it. All right, is he the best wrestler? No. Did he look good tonight? Yes. Where are the doubters? He killed it. Cannot wait for Dominic and Seth tomorrow to be awesome too. I'm tired of people like saying, oh my God, it's the first time they shouldn't be fighting with such a star, blah, blah, blah. Like, you don't know what to expect. And listen, maybe you're right, but wait for the match to be over with before you talk your shit. I'm just saying. So yeah, it was good. I thought McAfee looked good. I thought the little bit of drama with the friends outside of the ring was enough and not too much. I thought the whole Undisputed Era and the football buddies was going to be the whole match. I thought they got involved just enough to where it didn't feel annoying. Listen, I thought that McAfee looked good, but he did have a good dancing partner. Okay, Adam Cole is so talented. Adam Cole, listen, I'm not a fan. Not going to say, oh my God, I'm the biggest Adam Cole fan. But I do know that anything that he's involved in is good. You know, whether it's match, feud, whatever, he's going to give you a really good match. And he did that tonight. But he didn't carry. That's the thing. I was like, is he going to carry the whole match? He didn't. And there was a few times where you felt like McAfee could take it. And I'm here for that kind of, like suspense. So props to Pat McAfee. But then again, like I said, you have a good dance partner in there. So you can't go wrong with having your first match with Adam Cole, baby, who won via pinfall. So the right winner. But listen, would I be mad if McAfee shows up again and has another match in WWE or NXT? No. I thought he did well. For the NXT Women's Championship. And I do have to admit, this is probably the least interested that I've been in the NXT Women's Championship. I thought that Io and Dakota, they had a really good match. They killed it. They left it all out there. I personally don't find them interesting. I'm not interested in their story. I'm just not a fan, and I think everybody can admit when something is good, but you're just not into it. But it was great wrestling, and props to them. And I just they're just not for me. So, it's the NXT Women's title. I hold it so near my heart because there have been so many champions that I have loved so much. There have been so many epic reigns. Like, when Sasha was champion, Bayley had an epic reign. Asuka with that undisputed fucking reign. Then you had Shayna Baszler and, oh my God, Rhea Ripley. So I don't know. Like, and I know that Io Shirai has a lot of fans. Shirai. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing it. I have an accent. and I can understand why, because she is talented. Like, she can wrestle, and I love her as a heel. When they turned her heel, I really did like it, but she's just not for me. And like I said, I'm very biased towards Rhea Ripley. So when she's not in the title picture, I feel very against whatever you have going on. I don't want to take away from the fact that this was a good match. It's just that I need Rhea Ripley to be put into this storyline or get called up. But it's like, well, you can't really get called up because the women's title picture in WWE right now is just surrounding 3 women. There's so many women in WWE right now that are not being utilized properly that you don't want any of these people, not just the girls, even the guys too, to come up yet. So it's like, let's just put her in the storyline and get it back in there. They might not want to do it because they're really done, Io and Rhea, but I don't know. Why not? So the NXT Championship match happened, and you see it. I love these two. I love all of her outfits. I love Karrion Kross. I remember the first time that I saw him come out, and I tweeted something about like, ew, why does this entrance feel like a TikTok video? And my friend David said, oh, you're going to love this guy. And David and I have been Twitter friends for a long time, so he knows my taste in wrestlers, how I like my wrestlers and all that. So I was like, all right, I'm going to pay attention. And then this dude comes out and squashes Ciampa, and I loved everything about it. I was like, you don't need all the bells and whistles on that entrance when you look like that and you can go like that. So I was rooting for him tonight. The issue that I have is why make Keith Lee a double champ? Like, a lot of people are tweeting at me saying they booked themselves into a corner. I don't feel like they did. I feel like they could have made him play double duty tonight. Like, if I was booking it, I would have made Keith Lee win the ladder match first, defend both titles, and then when he goes into the main event, when he loses, he's not 100%. You keep them both strong, and on top of that, you have 2 monster champions. Wow, I just realized I made a banner for this and never even played it. 15, 20 minutes into the review, here's the banner. So, and you have 2 monster champs. But you made him double champ, and then now he has no titles at all? Like, that just seems stupid. You know what I mean? And while I love Damian Priest winning the North American title, he could have gone into a feud with Keith Lee. You don't put him in the ladder match and let Keith Lee win, and then that could be his first challenger, you know? I don't know. But listen, there was some great wrestling. There was some great moments in this NXT Championship. Keith Lee is so good at chasing, at staying alive, at saying, no, you're not going to take me down, fam. Even in that moment when he had him in the sleeper hold, I thought Keith Lee was out, and then he doesn't, and you're like, you pop for him. I know why people get behind Keith Lee. But, yeah, I have an issue with the double champ story to then leave him with no titles. Like, I don't know that feels right, you know? Right, the right winner. I love Karrion Kross. I have nothing negative to say about him. I would have had a lot negative to say about him if he lost, because you've been booking him like this monster. But I do have an issue with Keith Lee having no titles. How do you go from making that kind of history to no titles? Like, that makes no sense to me in my brain. But again, that was a great match, and in my opinion, the right person won. Congratulations to Karrion Kross. However, immediately after the show ended and Triple H did his normal press conference / call, and it was announced that Karrion Kross is injured. And that is just tragic, if it's true. If he really does have a separated shoulder, that could take 4 to 5 months to heal. And now you wonder, again, Keith Lee doesn't have the title anymore, and now this guy might not even be able to wrestle. It gave me flashbacks of, was it Drew McIntyre who won the NXT title and got injured right away the night that he won it? I don't know, but you guys know what I'm talking about. Was it Drew McIntyre? I don't remember who it was, but you know. I hope that he's going to be okay, but if he has a long injury, what are you going to do? Is he going to relinquish? You're going to put it back on Keith Lee? Then this whole thing feels like, oh my God. And I get it, because you can't count for injuries. Like, nobody wants anybody to get injured. So that's just tragic. And one more thing I wanted to mention is probably the greatest champion pick in history. You guys know every time a new champion gets crowned in NXT, Triple H does the point picture. But listen, you got this kid that's being built out of New York City. He's going to do a New York style. Damian Priest wins the North American title. And what does he do? He goes parties up with some girls in a hot tub. And the picture, I'll put it right here. That picture is epic. Triple H had to come out and point at him while he's in the hot tub drinking cheap champagne. Damian Priest, call me. I'm gonna drizzle you a bottle of Moet, okay? Because that's not what you should be drinking right now. But that's beyond the point. That's beyond the point. The picture is so epic, and I am so happy for him. And that's it, guys. There you go. Those are my thoughts on NXT Takeover 30. What do you guys think? What was your favorite match on the card? I will have to say that my favorite match was the NXT Takeover Championship, the main event. It's a little bit sad if Karrion Kross is injured for the long term. I really liked that Damian Priest won. It didn't feel like the best takeover, no, but I do think that NXT needs a crowd, and being Takeover 30, there's just so many to live up to. Let me know in the comments what was your favorite takeover of all time, and what did you think about tonight? What do you think about Keith Lee going from double champ to no championships? And until next time, guys. Well, next time, which is tomorrow, which is SummerSlam. Wait till you guys see my SummerSlam dress, okay? I wore yellow today because I was like, this is some brand with NXT. But my SummerSlam dress is the biggest party of the summer, so it's a party dress, of course. Anyways, until next time, adios. Mwah.
Yeah, demon diva, quite the screamer. Cursing, tease ya, hurting, please ya. Spot her out in any of y'all arena. Break the meter, get way too excited, watch her boot up. If the lady could, she get lady wood until you know who we can suit up. I get a girl, it's a low, wrestling down at the rope.